Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Quick reminder to check out this week's Mortar Pod, our video podcast, and also check out this week's SeemsGoodMagic card giveaway. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're actually doing another Swiss Vintage Masters draft. Typically, I do 8-4s if I win the Swiss, but I made an exception in this case for a couple reasons. Firstly, I'm new to the format, so there's still a lot of learning to do. But secondly, I technically won my first round, but I didn't really beat anybody, so I don't think it fully counted as winning the draft. At least not in the same way I felt it should have. Anyway, onto the pack. Cloud of Fairies I think is actually pretty good since it's essentially free and it also cycles, and it seems like cycling is good. But if I'm going to take a cycler, maybe I would prefer to take Aberration or something like that. I definitely like Elephant Guide. I don't know if that's a little bit too risky as a first pick. Chainer's Edict is also good. I like removal, especially flashback removal. Nothing in here is terribly exciting to me, so I'm just going to take the Chainer's Edict since it's removal that with flashback. Double removal. Okay. Well, Paralyze and Chainer's Edict, kind of a non-bow, so I don't like that all that much. What do we got here? Oh, I see. Stoic Champion, good with cycling. Gaia's Embrace. Seems pretty good, actually. Battle Screech. I played against that yesterday, and I really liked it. I think this is a good card. Kind of tempted to take that. Neither of the black cards are super exciting in here. Sudden Strength's a pretty awesome card. Combat Trick plus draw card. That's pretty good value. But Battle Screech gives me... I guess you have to be pretty thoroughly white to make Battle Screech fully effective. If that makes sense. Maybe we just want the Sudden Strength. That is a good trick. Pump your dude, draw a card. That's some real good potential value. And the rock colors are notorious for value, so could make that work. Let's see here. Kindle is some removal. Aftershock, same thing. Pine Barrens is fixing. What's Khazardrix do? 4 mana, 4/4 first strike. Oh, deals 4 damage to you if your opponent controls no creatures. Still pretty good, I think. I don't have a problem with this card, I don't think. Kindle is definitely removal, which is good. But I don't know. I think Khazardrix is actually pretty good. That's a pretty efficiently costed creature. The disadvantage is not terrible. It's not as bad as Jungle Worm, I think. Jungle Worm's pretty good if you have a ton of removal, but I think Khazardrix is actually pretty playable. I guess it does beat you down pretty good too if your opponent's got no creatures, so I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how good Khazardrix is yet, we'll find out. Okay, there's an Elephant Guide, we've got a Giant Mantis, which is essentially a giant spider. Death's Head Buzzard has flying, that's not bad. Tribute to the Wild. It's not exactly what I want. Let's see here. I do like Elephant Guide. I like Evasive Dudes. This guy's not super amazing though. Just a 2/1 flyer for 3. Nothing special there. Elephant Guide is cool because it's just kind of out of nowhere. A big pump in damage. I think Fallen Ascari is pretty good, but you got to be beat down to really make that work. I do love me some flanking. I'm not actually sure. I think I'm gonna get the flanker, but then again, the flanker can't block. I'm gonna take him anyway. He's not great, but he's a flanker. Let's take him. Okay, so still have another Paralyze. Croson Voreen seems actually pretty good. That's actually really good. You can provoke a dude, and that's the only dude they can block with. That's really good. I like this card, so I'm going to take that. Creature plus built-in potential removal. I think that's pretty awesome, actually. Nothing else in here super amazing. We got Paralyze, a Shadow dude, pretty solid flyer. It's interesting. Okay. Let's see here. We've got Regrowth. Tangle's not bad. That's kind of cool, actually. Miss Moon Griffin I played against yesterday. I really liked that. Well, we can potentially play Beatdown a little easier with Carnophage. Otherwise, Armor of Thorns, but not that good with us since we can't hit a lot of our guys with it already. What does this thing do? Oh, this is cool. I see. So if you have some sort of sack outlet, this could be potentially pretty cool. But it's 2 mana 1/1 otherwise. Nothing special. Maybe we just take the Carnophage, see if we can play some sort of black-green beatdown list. See how that works. I think Carnophage is okay. You don't have to take the damage. I think that's the beautiful part about this card. Wow, it's a late counterspell. Spinal Graft. Yeah, it's cool. If you have enough stuff to support it, it's cool. Otherwise, it's kind of a weak card. That's a pretty good card. Counterspell's obviously good. Are we guaranteed in green yet? No, I guess we're not. Maybe we do the Spinal Graft anyway, try it out. It's not that good, but you play it on, if you have enough 1-drops to support it, I could see it being pretty decent. Nature's Lore, that's pretty good actually. I like getting ramp. Nature's Ruin, not that good with us. Bad River helps us find a blue source. That's not bad. This only gets us a forest card, but it also ramps us at 2, which I do think is good. Let's get the ramp over the potential splash card plus shuffle effect. I think I'd rather have ramp. Alright, Rain of the Pit. That's good if we pick up more of those boars. Okay, that makes sense, because then you can sack a boar and get a 3/3 and make your opponent sack a dude and get a demon. A lot of potential value there. It's also a rare. Fallen Ascari is another little flanking beater, though. If we have enough pump, like Spinal Graft and stuff, I could see that being pretty good. Provoke is pretty awesome, too. Pseudo removal. I'm going to try out Rain of the Pit. Gives you a huge flyer, potentially. I guess if your opponent has a 0 power dude, it's not that good, but that's alright. So we can take Gaia's Embrace, which helps us regen, get a fatty. We can take the Provoke, which is kind of removal. Lets you draw, too. I think Provoke's actually pretty awesome. And it's instant. So it's kind of a surprise. I like the Gaia's Embrace too, but I'm going to take the Provoke. Alright, got a Jungle Worm, which is fine. We already have a few tricks and pieces of removal, so I kind of like having this guy. Urborg Uprising's pretty cool too. That's pretty good value. Get 2 dudes back and draw a card. But, I mean, 5 mana 5/5. It's hard to argue. He's at least a good defender. Gotta give him that. Alright, we can take the sideboard Tribute to the Wild or the Death's Head Buzzard, which flies. We don't have any 3-drops. Kind of tempted to take the Buzzard. And if it dies, it doesn't kill any of our guys currently. So I think I'm going to take the Buzzard. Alright, we can take Paralyze, but like I said, it's kind of a nombo with our Edict, so I'm not really digging it as much in this deck. Choking Sands, I guess. That's a cool sideboard card at the very least, but maybe main deck. That can be a blowout effect. I mean, it is essentially Stone Rain. Well, we open Bayou, which is convenient since it's a dual land and it's on color with us. Famine, that's interesting. Dark Rituals, interesting. Symbiotic Worm is actually pretty cool. That's a cool way to make this a lot cooler as well. But I think it's pretty clear Bayou pick. Get a little dual land. A little fixing for the deck. Let's see what we table. Ooh, Survival of the Fittest is in here? That's a great card. Really like Survival of the Fittest. Especially if we have any sort of graveyard value. Survival of the Fittest can be real good. What does this do? Sacrifice it? It's alright. Gives you a colorless fight effect, I guess. That's not bad. Got Wild Mongrel, notoriously good from the past. I think we're just taking Survival. Why not? Throw away Carnophage, find Jungle Worm. Something like that. I like it. It's a good card. Okay, Penumbra Worm, when it dies, it's pretty good value. Second Khazardrix, but I think those can get out of hand if you get too many. I do like the Penumbra Worm, but it is 7 mana. Currently we have the Nature's Lore, which helps us ramp. There's also Giant Mantis. I don't know. Penumbra Worm and Reign of the Pit is pretty good value. I think I might take that. It's hard to deal with this dude. You got a Swords of Plowshare. He also has Trample. There's a lot of good aspects of this card. And I think it's worth taking, so let's do it. It is 7 mana, once again. It's expensive. Currently only have one Nature's Lore as well, but we'll get this figured out. What's this guy do? Exiling a number of target non-land permanents again in return. Ooh, it's kind of cool. Alright, Barrenmoor is a cycle effect, but Tusker is a better cycle effect in my mind. You get to draw a card, you get a land, you put a fatty in your graveyard. All positive things. What's this thing do? Oh, that's cool. Make your opponent sack. It's not bad either. I think I still want Tusker. I just love this card. A lot of versatility. Good in-game creature. Good cycle effect relatively early. Good draw effect. I remember just playing and loving Krosan Tusker. What's Lake of the Dead do again? I can sack a swamp and add 4. That's actually kind of cool. But you do have to sack I see. I think we want the Root Walla just because too much good value with the survival. Discard your Root Walla, play it for free, dig up whatever you want. Oh, there's also Arrogant Worm. Well, I think I'd rather do the Arrogant Worm then. For 4 mana, get a 4/4 trample plus dig up. Yeah, I think that's actually better. I want the Root Walla too, though. Yeah, Tyrant's Choice is pretty cool. Both of those modes are pretty awesome. But we're just definitely going with the Arrogant Worm. Very cool with the Survival of the Fittest. Okay, so options now. We can do Reanimate, which is pretty cool. It's any graveyard too. I mean, that's tough to argue. 1 mana. Yes, you lose life, but there's also, it's either that or Provoke or Elephant Guide. I think Reanimate's got the most upside. And it's converted mana cost, I guess, so the 7 drops are a little more difficult to do it too. But I don't know. Maybe it's a tougher spell to play than I'm giving it credit for, but I feel like it can really flip a game around for 1 mana. So let's take it. Okay. I feel like Simian Grunts is actually a great card. Flashes in, does have Echo, but you get a 3 mana 3/4 blocker. Surprise. It's pretty awesome. Suchi is cool. Just because it's actual advantage when it was formerly a disadvantage with in the olden days when there was mana burn. I think we're just taking the Grunts. That's a good card. I like this. I haven't played it before. And your opponents, once they see it, maybe they play around it. It's also Dothy, Mercenary, and Carnophage, both cool. But yeah, I think we're going for the Simian Grunts here. That's pretty cool. I need to read the exact wording on Echo as well. I think we can take Sudden Strength number 2. It's still a good card. I think it's just good. That's a good effect. I love the boost plus draw effects. That's just amazing. I do like the shadow guy too. Definitely can't argue that, but I'm gonna go with the sweet trick. Okay, so there's a second jungle worm. It's also Dark Ritual. I'm not a huge fan of Dark Ritual Unlimited. I guess we have a couple 7 drops, so could potentially make sense. I don't feel like it plays that well with the survival of the fittest strategy, though. Kind of want to focus on that. Then again, neither does Famine all that much. It's more of just a board sweeper. I think I actually take the Famine anyway, just because I like having a board sweeper. I don't like that it punishes your life total, though. It kind of seems counter to what it's trying to do, which I assume is protect you. But whatever. All right, Paralyze. Number 2. I think we're just going to continue to cut black that way. We could take the Triangle of War, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it works in our deck. We've got some big fatties. I guess we'll take it. Geez, Paralyzed for days. Khazardrix number 2. Still feeling pretty sketchy about that. I just really don't like Paralyze with Chainer's Edict. Maybe I just want to do the Paralyze instead. But late game it's not the best, and we're not a beatdown deck necessarily. But it's early protection. I'll take it anyway. Alright, Baron Moore, definitely taking that. Lake of the Dead, yeah, alright. I'll do it. That's good. 2 on-color things. I think we'll do the Tribute. Last pick Choking Sand. It's actually kind of funny since it's, in my opinion, not that bad of a card. Alright, so this is 23 cards right here. So this is actually a deck going into pack 3, which is nice. Let's see here. Flowstone Sculpture. Discard it. Gains flying, first strike, or trample permanently. That is pretty cool. I like that guy. Aberration is cool since it cycles. What's this do? This card's kind of cool too. I like this. That's some good. I think we're likely to table that since it's odd colors. Do I want the Sculpture? Do I want Edict number 2? I'm okay with Edict number 2. I'd rather play the Edicts over the Paralyze. You get more overall value. Currently I only have 10 creatures, which is not that good for survival of the fittest. But I don't know. Probably not doing the Paralyzes. Probably rather do the Edicts. Making your opponent sack is usually pretty good unless they're a token strategy. Alright, let's take Edict number 2. Sack effects typically aren't as good, I admit, but I'm still thinking it's alright. Alright, Urnham Jin. He's efficient. Oh, here we go. Arrogant Worm. Yep, Arrogant Worm number 2 it is, definitely, with the survival. I like this strategy. Seems like the right direction to go. Alright, I think we gotta take Wild Mongrel now. It's just too good of a turn progression with the double Arrogant Worm. Second Ritual in here. Also Claws of Wirewood, which is pretty awesome since it cycles. Tyrant's Choice, yep, another one. It is still good. Let's see here. Fledgling Jin. Does fly. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we're taking Mongrel. Alright, now we can easily take Rootwalla. Just awesome value with the Mongrel and the Survival of the Fittest, so just sort of playing a Madness deck, or trying to, if at all possible. Alright, Nature's Lore number 2 helps ramp us to our 7 drops. Sapperling Burst. Whoa, wait a second. So for 5 mana, Fading 7, remove a Fade counter, put a green sapling creature token on the battlefield. It has This creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of fade counters on it? Jeez. So wait, if I use it right away, the next turn, you'll have a 5/5 or 2 4/4s. But then it slowly gets smaller. I don't know. I feel like that's good, but we've got the multiple 7 drops. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the Nature's Lore still. Although Scourge Familiar, that's actually, I think, the pick because of the Madness stuff. That's pretty awesome, actually. Yes, it's a 5-mana 3/2, but another discard effect for our multiple Madness, plus ramp, potentially. Yeah, maybe it's not as good as I gave it credit for. Let's take the second Vorine. Alright, can take a second Simian Grunts. I'm okay with that. Probably don't need a second Familiar. I'm already doubting the first one. I think Grunts is just fitting our curve too well. We have to take it. Mesmeric Fiend is pretty cool. Third Sudden Strength seems unnecessary, but fine. Second Fallen Ascari, I'm not feeling it as much as I was before. Let's take the Mesmeric Fiend. I love getting information and stealing cards from my opponent's hand. Alright, Pine Barrens is fixing or Death Reap Ritual, but I mean, it's cool with the Echo, because then you get a combat trick, don't pay the Echo, creature dies. I don't have any sack outlets, really. I guess the Reign of the Pit. I feel like it's a little bit too do nothing, even though it does have Morbid. It's a little bit too do nothing, I think. And you only get 1 per turn, regardless of how many creatures die. Alright. Choking Sands number 3. Maybe I sideboard into some sort of land hate deck, possibly. I don't think I'm main decking Famine. Probably. We can take Tyrant's Choice here. It's pretty awesome, actually. Spinal Graph number 2, not likely to play that. Don't really need the Sky Shroud Forest either. Guess we'll just take the foily, but not playing it. Buzzard number 2, probably not necessary, but it's a 3-drop, and it flies. Don't need armor or Tangle, really. I mean, Tangle's a good sideboard card. Maybe I'll take that. Don't have any Shadow, I guess, so whatever. Alright, so we've definitely got a deck here. I like the survival plan with the Rootwalla and the Arrogant Worms. It's kind of cool. And a little bit short on removal, but we've got some good ways to remove stuff. Alright, let's get this game plan going. I'm not sure we need Carnophage yet. I think we're more of a combo-ish sort of thing. So let's just dig up stuff that probably is good for us. Good value stuff. I don't even know if we need the Jungle Worm. Don't necessarily need those. That guy's good. Probably want a blocker instead. So I can vote for death or torture. And if I vote for death, they have to sack a creature. If I vote for torture... Oh, I see. So I vote for death, and then they vote for torture, and they lose 4 life. So this isn't that good for us. This would be much better if we were... Tyrant's Choice would be much better if we were aggressive. But we're not. I mean, we potentially are, but we're more get the right opener or win late game through value. So, am I playing Lake of the Dead? I have to sack a swamp. That is the problem. You have to continue to sack swamps. Makes it a little bit more sketchy, but you can get to 7 pretty quick. Might be worth a try. feel like it's pretty tough to use, but the bonus is it adds black itself. So at least it still helps you. I only have 2 7-drops. 11 creatures currently, so I gotta put more in than that. Maybe we do 1 Scourge Familiar. It is a 3-power flyer that's got added benefit in our deck. Let's take the Reign of the Pit because it's cool with some of the guys we can sack. Don't need that. Could take the Kizardrix now. I think that's probably fine. It's not amazing, but I wanted to try it out. Guess we could take Jungle Worm. And if we do that, then we can maybe play the Triangle of War at that point. Probably have enough fatties. Let's do the Triangle of War. That's 23 with 13 creatures. It's a pretty low creature count. I'm going to separate my spells from removal, or spells from creatures, excuse me. Alright. I think I want 15 creatures, so why don't we cut the Triangle of War actually. Let's bring in, guess we can bring in Jungle Worm. I'd like to have more removal to really make Jungle Worm better. But I think he still kills stuff on his own. He's alright. So 14 creatures is still a little bit lower than I'd like. I still think I want the Nature's Lore. Ramping is pretty good, because if we don't find a good way to slam the Arrogant Worms off of Madness, then we're going to have a hard time casting them, I think, because we've got a lot of 5-drops and we've got a couple 7-drops. I think I pretty much just really want to play Nature's Lore in here. Just really make sure that we're hitting lands and getting to our late game. I do have good fixing in here. I think I'm going to try out the Lake of the Dead. I think that's fine in here. Just to get to 7 on turn, like, I don't know. What turn can I get there? Sack a Swamp. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's turn 4 or 5 minimum, I guess. So maybe it's not as good as I want it to be. I'd like to do 15 creatures, but what would my 15th creature even be? Just a small little flyer that potentially kills things if it blocks. I guess this is pretty awesome against aggro. Like if someone's playing goblins or something, or White Weenie, guess we'll try it. And I'm cutting, oh, I guess what am I cutting? If I don't play Provoke, I would only have a couple Edicts and a couple Sudden Strengths, and I guess a couple Croson Varines. I just like that Provoke works well with the fatties that we've got. Kazardrix and Reanimate together kind of worry me a little bit. It's a lot of potential life loss. We don't have any life gain. Then again, I probably don't want to play a second Scourge Familiar. Let's cut the Kazardrix. Let's go to 14 creatures, 23 cards. I like our end game still. Pretty good finishers. Not a lot of removal. A little bit of disruption. Some decent combo-ish stuff. Let's check out our colors. Much more green than black. Let's just ditch the Lake of the Dead plan. Let's focus on our just color fixing a little bit. So we've got a couple black-green already and 1 black source. So they want to do 9-5. I think I probably would rather do this. So this would be, well, maybe I do want to do this. That would be, let's see, 11 green sources and 8 black sources. It's pretty good, actually. Guess we want to play Death's Head Buzzard relatively early, but 8 black sources is a lot. Plus we've got Nature's Lore, as well as... What's its butt? I felt like we had some other... Oh, Croson Tusker, yeah. I think this deck's pretty cool, potentially. Not a lot of removal, but we've got some tricks, Simian Grunts, ways to make them block. Decent finishers, not the most exciting finishers, but some decent ones. Penumbra Worm's pretty big. Big dude. Survival of the Fittest. Always love that card. Yeah, let's try this out. This could potentially be a pretty cool deck.